Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session... Oh, that's loud. For this session, we are reviewing a Diamond Reinhardt player. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can see my Discord in the description below, what rates look like, all that good stuff. So let's turn that... since he was so kind as to flash this for us. Okay, so we see here, after we get out our Epic Pen, that he is both open queue and regular queue. My understanding is this is regular queue. Diamond, it looks like he's hanging out in the low diamond territory, but he didn't fall out of it, and that's also where he is on DPS. Okay. Hey, Smitic! Okay, so here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're going for your pin. I didn't actually check your team, but that's okay. This is a stylistic choice to potentially go here and try to hit the Fire Strike from the side as opposed to pushing up main. The advantage really is the Fire Strike. The disadvantage, unfortunately, is you're on the low ground relative to them. You're not really going to be able to push into them well if they're there. You're not really going to be able to push into them well if you're there either. You actually do a better job of... So your opponents are likely to take this angle and this angle, or potentially have come through here. And if you're here, you don't do the greatest job of taking away any of those angles. Like, you could sort of do a long loop around to take away that angle. That almost becomes your best option. If you push up here, you get shot in the side. If you push across regular, you get shot in the side. We don't really like this. Whereas if you'd come through the more standard Rein route, you're not really getting shot in the side. You see how your shield is sort of good for you up until you get to like here even and start swinging at these guys. Your shield is good for you against these guys. So that's one of the reasons that this upper route usually gets taken for Reinhardt, unless you think it's just going to be a slaughter, a blowout up there. And I don't think it was, because I thought I saw a Junkrat on your team. So I have no reason to believe that's going to be the case. So trading out, oh, hey, you guys can get me from multiple angles, and I won't be able to take away one of your angles efficiently by, pushing up then over, etc. type thing, or pushing through and then through type thing. Giving that up for the sake of, hey, I got a better angle for my opening Fire Strike, not really a worth trade. And you see how you're doing this? Exactly what I thought was going to happen. Someone's here, and you're sort of like, I'm going to Rein dance a little bit, because I can't keep my shield facing both of you, so I sort of try to split the difference, and then I don't like it, so after I Rein dance a little bit, I back up. Again, we need to be able to push up along the outside to take away a team's angle. Push up along the outside of one of their angles, actually still do it straight here, to take away the other team's angles. You play Reinhardt in such a way that you make the angles that are on you small, and you might do that by going, hey, these angles are kind of small, I can push into this, I can push out one. Or you might do this by going, hey, there's angles here, and I'm here. Well, forget this, I'm going to rotate around until I'm pushing this way, and now these angles on me are a relatively small angle. You see, that is a relatively small angle compared to, if you're Reinhardt here, the size of that angle. So that's what we're trying to do, and you put yourself in this bad angle situation, and that's why it feels bad, and that's what led you to this situation where you Rein dance and then back up. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm glad we got her, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to walk around the outside of the pillar and swing at her from there. You're Rein dancing. Where are you going? Okay. Fire Strike, unpeak, good. I was perfectly happy to play flank Rein into this. Like, this works, I guess, but I was perfectly happy to go, hey, Fire Strike, unpeak, and then go right back. Go right back, and I'm going to crush them from this side while my team crushes them from this side. Fine with me. This Reinhardt doesn't have Shatter. My team's not vulnerable. We're good. Instead, you go here, And it's okay, but it's not as strong an angle as you could have had. Yes, it gives your team more ability to support you, but the other thing would have been fun. Yikes. Okay. You got your Reinhardt, you take your one last swing, and then you shield. No problem with me. I could have gone without that Fire Strike, but it's fine. No, 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 that's one too many swings. I'd have said no to that, but you did have plenty of health. Sure. And now you hard shield. And now we don't swing again. Unless we're like sure that this swing is going to hit and hit early, and this swing is not going to necessarily hit. He's a little far away. He might make himself further away, and it's certainly not going to hit early in the swing. We have to get to this point in the swing, or we have to rotate our camera heavy. Like we're not swinging at this yet. I might walk a little closer and then swing to get my one swing off, but I don't have any armor left. It's going to be pretty deep into my swing before it does damage. He's far enough away that by the time I get to him, he might actually be far enough away that I don't do damage. I don't like this. There's another person that's going to shoot at me beyond him. I'm probably not willing to go for this swing. Poor Brig. No, that was not a fire strike you can do. You don't do that in the open. Why are you fire striking when there's like Junkrats and McCrees and such on the field? And I don't understand why you were shield hopping there either. Like, you did not have the health to shield hop, and you had plenty of shield. Get away a bit more so you don't have to worry about the flash before you think about shield hopping. Mm. Sure. Fine. One more. You could have swung your camera harder to get that swing early on him. Because that was the final swing, and that matters. Yeah. I assumed we were watching a YouTube recording of a video specifically because we were going to, out of this, get um, comms, but I guess that's not the case. For all I know, this is a recording. No, it's not a recording of a replay because his performance stats are displayed. Those are not my performance stats, and some of those performance stats don't get displayed in replays. Interesting. Hey, Dave. Is your team ready for you to push? Yeah. Yeah, they probably are. You charge to catch up with your team. I don't necessarily love peeking the main super obvious angle. The hog's on your team. Yeah, I'll deal. That hog's not on your team. You were hookable. Like, I don't love peeking the super obvious angle with a fire strike and then actually following out after that a fire strike. It's one thing to go, hey, I have a corner. I start my fire strike. I peek. I throw my fire strike. I unpeek during the unwind to at least minimize your time. It's another thing to go, hey, I have a corner. I start my fire strike, walk out fire strike, and then continue forward into a team that has potential punishes, like a Roadhog hook, into a team that is likely to already be sending their damage in that direction because that was the likely direction for your team to come from. Why are you shield hopping so hard? And now you're shield dancing? Wait, hold on. The distance that you have to rotate is far enough that you need to shield hop, which is going to cause some of the damage to be taken on your health, which is fine. But it's far enough that you need to shield hop, risk getting CC'd, taking a bunch of damage, etc. Shield hopping has its place, but you believe that this rotation is far enough to justify that, but also short enough that you can Rein dance like this, that you can go, oh no, I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go back here. Did you need to etch a 4 into the ground? Like, I get now that you're going to think, oh, I need to back up because of the Brig. That's fine with me. But Brig shouldn't have caused you to shield dance. It might have caused you to be going, hey, I'm shield hopping forward, and then, oh shoot, they rallied, it's scary, so now I'm hard backing or I'm shield hopping back. Either of those could have been an option, but etching out a 4 on the ground was not the solution. Mm-hmm. Sure. You can really get more done with swings. I know he's not going to hook you while he's breathing, but I really just keep swinging. Yeah. Brick's coming back for revenge. There we go. I don't think so. No, 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 no. That was too aggressive. So here you are. Your team isn't really ready. You're now down 1. You're down 2, actually, which is going to turn into down 1 after the res comes through. You're not totally down 1 because, yes, they're missing 2. But, like, okay, you can go here. You can enforce this. You can enforce this corner right here to your right and say, I'm going to stand on this corner, not let these guys in, and my team is going to deal with this, what, Junkrat over here? That's fine with me, but that's not what you do. You push out into the open. This isn't enforcing the corner anymore. This is, I want more, let me go rip off more to fight. That is a McCree. It might say Mercy, but that's actually a McCree with a Mercy attached to it. And you have a Hog to your right, and a Zarya here. Looks like a good way to get flashed. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Fine by me. It's recoded because the replay code is from the last patch. Yeah, I assume the replay code is from the last patch, but I'm reviewing something that's a little bit old, actually. It's just, it was specifically requested, so I'm doing it, which is fine. I'm just a little surprised that it was recorded on the last patch, if that makes sense. Unless, does this person always record their gameplay? And then they dropped this because the patch dropped, maybe? Okay. I don't know. And if this is you, the man, let me know, because you'll have the answer. But yes, this is from the last patch. Why are we giving him a shield to shoot at? So here we are. It's unfortunate that our Zarya went down. That doesn't mean we now want to give them more to work on. We can't do anything from here, and believe it or not, and we should know this in Diamond, our shield is not a firing platform for our team in the overwhelming majority of situations. We may think that that's how they should use it. They won't use it that way. It's not actually a very good use of it. Our shield is to get us to enemies and to let us stabilize when we're fighting enemies. If we spend a bunch of time, this isn't stabilizing, we have full health. If we spend a bunch of time letting them have shield, which we're doing right now for no good, any chance he's trying to shield the res? Maybe, but he didn't walk up far enough for me to believe that. And now he's doing it again. And now he's out here again. Like, I don't think so. I understand why you see that, Matthew, and there's a small possibility that that's what he's going for. But if we look at the totality here, pushing up, goes for the shield, could be going for it, then decides, no, it's too scary, I'm going to back up, and I'm also going to fire strike for some reason. No one's looking at him, and someone could walk into it, so I can live with that. That's a reasonable place to put a fire strike, though the aim was a little low. And then we decide no. And a BAP isn't scary enough to stop us from going up there. So that's a little bit weird if we were thinking, hey, I'm going to go for a res. He could absolutely stop a BAP or swing at a BAP while his Mercy is resing and be plenty valid. Now we're up here, fine, there's a bunch of stuff, and we've jumped back into the open. And this is, there's no way we're thinking about covering a res anymore. This looks purely like, hey, I'm putting my shield up just Cuz, like, where we actually want to be right now is tucked behind this corner, threatening in with our hammer. That's where we want to be. Got it, got it. Yeah, I saw a couple people had done a response already. Good on you guys. Good on you specifically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So really we needed to decide, are we trying to get out, in which case we needed to try a little harder, or are we resetting, or are we staying on point to sort of slow down the flip? Um, you're not going to get another real fight here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a shield dance issue. We've got a little bit of a issues that we see. We see a little bit of the shield dancing where you're walking back and forth, not really sure what you're doing. We see a little bit too much of a, hey, enforce your corners. You're Reinhardt, enforce your corners. Don't just stand in the open. These are related issues, but not the same thing. We see a little bit too willing to push into the center of a fight, as opposed to going, hey, let me take away their angles like this. I want to push through to take away their angles so they have smaller angles on me. I'd like us to clean up our tech so that when it comes to our swings, we're actually closer. We swing our screen so that the beginning of our swing hits them, especially on what are going to be finishing blows. And I'd actually like us to pay a little bit more attention to our health as well, because we're going for some swings that are on the dangerous side that aren't really strongly rewarded, aren't expected to be really high, instantly get the elimination, and then I'll go back to swinging and I was just under my armor threshold type thing, and only one other person is looking at me. Those ones where you can sort of greet it. We're way, way, way overgreeding it. So that's way too many things, and not actually all things that we're going to cover or make focuses for you at the end of this review. But those were all things that caught my attention in the first round of this match.
Score 0-1.
Okay. So we have a Hammond now. Oh, this is open queue. Okay. Right, right.
Rein, don't even get started, Mohammed. You're not getting any younger.
Never. I will fight to my last breath.
I mean, they just showed 3 tanks there, so it's gotta be. Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
It's unfortunate. I wish I'd known that. I'd still be willing to review it, but it's a little less interesting. Okay, so we see that. The shielding, so you go for this, you hop for some reason. I don't know why you jumped here. I don't know why you jumped there either. Jumping doesn't actually help unless you do shield hops. The point of jumping as Reinhardt is to go, hey, I have forward momentum. I drop my shield for just an instant, while to get maximum forward momentum. Yep. No, I don't need that right now. I drop my shield for just a moment while I'm on the ground to get forward momentum, and then I jump, and because I jump, I continue that forward momentum, and my shield can be up the whole time that I'm in the air. That's the point of shield hopping. If I'm jumping, if I come off the ground and my shield is up when I come off the ground, I'm going to have the reduced movement speed from having had my shield up, and it's not going to do anything. So just jumping if I'm full holding my shield doesn't make sense. Full holding your shield right now does make sense. There's a Widow on the other team. You do not want to be shield hopping. But in that case, stop jumping. Seriously, stop jumping. I can live with that. I don't know why you flashed there at all. Get reset. Literally get reset. You're not going to hold point from them. This is over. Good. Good. Okay, now leave. Leave. All the way up. You could not afford that fire strike in the slightest. And you like 100% need to not get eliminated here. That would be a huge stagger. Okay, good decision to leave. And the reason it was a good decision to leave rather than reset there was specifically because there was still time before point unlock. So he wanted to go, hey, I don't want to just slowly get eliminated type thing. I don't want to go to point install it type thing. No, because there was, when he realized the fight was over, there was still a good, 7 seconds until point unlock. So he wanted to go, okay, this is time that is not useful to them, so I don't want them to get advantage of it. I don't want to stall the point because I can't stall the point. There's still 7 seconds left. I want to get out and then go back in, and they'll have gotten less percent up because those 7 seconds weren't useful. Team Tilts here. Is there any value to... Is there any value to jumping in front of Widow to make it harder for her to hit your teammates' heads behind you? No. No, because your teammates are either using cover or your shield in the rotation, and you jumping isn't helping with that. No. I think what you're probably saying is, oh, she's on high ground and I'm sort of doing this. No, you're not. You're not going to play gambling against the Widow of, let me just try to like flip my shield up and down into her sight line by jumping. Like, if your shield is down out of her sight line, the Widows don't have to get all that high on the ladder before they'll go, oh, well, we'll just hit the openings between the shield when you're jumping if they're counting on you being in the air to block. Took me a second to even realize where you were trying to go with that. No, that's definitely not how you want to pursue it. You do not have to get that high up the ladder before the Widows would easily be able to go, okay, so the Reinhardt is jumping, and his shield is here, and the ground is here, and his teammate is, I don't know, here, and when he's in the air, the Widow who's over here can't see him, but when the Reinhardt is fully on the ground, oop, sorry, fully on the ground, the Widow can see over and get the elimination. They'll do that, even if you're jumping, even if you're interrupting it, etc. The solution to this is you needed to let your teammate get closer before the rotation started, so that the shield gave them a better angle protection. You needed to rotate in differently, or your teammate needed to go, oh, I missed the Rein bus to the point or to the next corner, etc. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to wait until Rein does something else, and then maybe I'll peek and poke from here once Rein has pulled attention to him. Yes, he could have shielded the res and shielded his teammates into the courtyard. Probably not. That Zarya was really deep. They got stuck on the corner. They did get stuck on the corner. Okay. I think a res there would have been, at least a res on the Zarya that was deep would have been quite challenging. Maybe a more shallow res could have been doable. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. We'll remedy it. I mean, we run into people who are like, hey, I should be at a higher SR all the time. And the reality is we don't really care what SR people are at or think they should be at. We're going to go, hey, this is how you get better. And if you get better, the SR just kind of comes along as a side effect. Oh yeah, now they're typing about Pharah to triple hit scan. Okay. Yep, again, if there's a Widow on the other team, us trading Fire Strikes in isn't really going to make sense. Our Fire Strike is silenced, sealed, whatever, unless we find ourselves an angle, like maybe over here, where the Widow definitely can't see us. And we're not going to spend a ton of time doing that for the sake of Fire Strikes. Yeah, no swap to Pharah. her.
I'm not as young as I used to be.
Go back into spawn or go right into cover. Fine. Okay, you and Fair should be able to overwhelm this. Right target. Leave, leave, leave. We're not poking into the window plus Valk. Now is this over? Okay, so the second round was kind of junk. And honestly doesn't matter much this second round. The first round is much more interesting. Okay, so catching up on chat here. What SR would I say this Ryan play honestly is? I mean, they showed us at the beginning that their current SR in tank queue was like 3005, and it looked like it was down from like 3050. And I would agree that it is on its way down there. I would agree that it is on its way down there. This is probably based on what we saw today. That doesn't mean that tomorrow we wouldn't be playing better. People do have some variance to their level of play. That doesn't mean that tomorrow it wouldn't be. Words are hard. That doesn't mean that tomorrow we wouldn't play better, but based on what I'm saying today, it does look like a mid to low plat Rein. In regular queue. And yes, well, I agree. In open queue, it could be Masters. Open queue is a little wild sometimes. Anna swap to Farah. The rest of the game is his team is feeding chaos. That was a short one. It was. I try to explain that to people on the forums. People just seem to forget that they're playing against other human beings. Right, and other human beings also have variance to their level of play. It's part of what makes team MMR for individuals so hard. You can potentially do team MMR for a team, but getting individual MMR out of team play where you're shuffling up teammates and opponents takes forever to get any level of accuracy, and people change faster than you can get accuracy for it. But if I was to look at this player and say things for them to work on, what we'd probably want to get into, I would have liked to actually get some real information because we got one round of real information. That second round was basically garbage. So we got one round of information to work from, which is a little light to be making serious recommendations off of. But I'll do it anyways. So what I'm going to want is I'm going to want us to get better with our movement. Like let's start with corner play because corner play is consistent. Play for your corners. There were multiple times where you went, "Hey, I'm out in the open," when there was a corner to take. There was when you were getting out of your spawn on control center and there was that hog and that McCree. You should have been playing at the corner for sure. That's what you should have been doing. Like that 100% was the right thing to do. That 98% was the right thing to do there. You play your corner. You guys can maybe deal with the McCree while you keep out all these other people. That's how we want to do it. And then we saw the same thing when you had point control on control center, where, hey, point control, control center, we have things like this, whatever. You should have been enforcing this corner, not just standing out here getting shot at. Maybe you were pushing up for the res, but I didn't see enough indicators to be sure about that, so you needed to go enforce the corner. Reinhardt, your shield doesn't last forever, and I can see you're trying to shield hop to cover for the fact that your shield doesn't last forever, and that's an okay tech that you're overusing, but the real way to make your shield not get used up is to have your corner that you enforce, that you go, yes, we had our corner, and because we had our corner, we used that to go, words are hard. Come on. We use that corner to go, hey, you can't shoot at us because there's a physical wall with infinite HP blocking me instead of the shield. And that's what we wanted. Sorry, guys, just one quick second here. Oh, shoot. That's annoying. Okay, I'll fix that after. Okay, so that's the first thing that you want to do. Use your actual corners. Those will help you. Those are important, seriously. The second thing that I want you to do is I'm going to go ahead and want you to I mean, we could talk about shield hop tech. Yeah, we'll talk about your shield hop tech. If you're going to shield hop, actually shield hop. Do the shield hop tech correctly, where you go, hey, I drop my shield for an instant to get forward momentum on the ground. I jump, I have that forward momentum, and in the air, my shield goes up. And then my shield stays up until I land. I drop it for just an instant to get that forward momentum. I jump, and I do that. If you can do it, that's what it should be every time. Don't bother jumping while holding your shield up the whole time. That doesn't do anything helpful for you. That said, a lot of these situations you didn't need to be shield hopping it. Causes you to take damage that sometimes is okay, but frequently you don't want to take. It depends on what your support situation looks like, what incoming damage looks like, how far you have to rotate, and it also depends on, is there a widow on the other team? Oh, there is? Then I don't want to shield hop into that. You see how that works? Like, that is how that works. So please don't do that. And then the third thing that we're going to get into is we're going to talk about the shield again. Get rid of the Rein dancing. Like, if you want to be Masters Reinhardts don't Rein dance. Like, yes, I'll as a joke call out my Masters Reinhardts every once in a while for a tiniest little bit of shield dancing, but you have more than the tiniest little bit. You don't have tons and tons of it, but you have more than the tiniest little bit of shield hopping, or excuse me, shield dancing. And shield dancing is where you sort of go forward, back, or left, right, like that sort of thing. We don't do that. Reinhardt really benefits from being decisive. He doesn't have enough shield to not be decisive. He has to go, I'm going from cover to opponents that I want to swing at, or I'm going from cover to a new set of cover that I can use. And then maybe I recover shield here, and then I go to opponents that I want to swing at. The only time you should do anything resembling shield dancing is when, hey, I just swung at my opponents, did damage to them, I got down to maybe 200 HP, I'm going to put my shield up. Really, I can just put my shield up. If I did a little walking back and forth here, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I'm actually staying close enough to, as soon as I get healed, swing at this guy again. I'm not really shield dancing. So that's the thing. Or I'm saying, hey, I don't know if I'm going to get healed again, so I'm retreating back to cover. That's fine too. But go ahead and use your corners more, seriously. Do your shield dancing and don't do your shield hopping. Or excuse me, if you're going to do your shield hopping, make sure it makes sense. No widow, and that you're actually doing the tech. You're not just jumping while holding forward or back. Those are what I'm going to give you. It's 3 things. They may not be the most perfect things for you. They're definitely things that you have room to work on. But the reality is I had like 4 minutes of game to work with here. This second round was basically didn't exist. So, yeah, if you guys have questions, throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff. That was a short one. Yes, I agree. Did Anna switch to fair to counter Widow? There we go. No. You use Anna to counter Anna. There we go. Herding cats. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. I see my camera was off for this one, and I'm gonna have to go tinker with that to see if I can fix that. But that's going to do it for now. Hey, no problem. The man. I'll see you guys in the next. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. With that, I'll